Hello everybody and welcome to DanMachi 2 episode 4. We're on 4 episode review, anime review, whatever you want to call it review. The big fight is the big fight. That was basically the whole episode was the big fight, essentially. Finished up this arc in 4 episodes, so are they going to spend 8 or 9 on the next arc, or are they going to like... I don't know how they're going to do it. My thinking is they might do up to like 10 will be the next arc, and then volume 8 they'll somehow put into 3 episodes at the end, maybe. I don't know. Volume 8's like side stories. They could do that. I'm curious though. I'm curious to see how they do it, because they could just spend 8 episodes on the next arc, you know. It's quite long. So, but anyway, big fight was this week, and I'll stay at the beginning. I was pleasantly surprised with this. I was expecting JC staff to be very lazy with this, and even if it didn't always look the greatest on the screen, I can't you know, complain about them not trying, just doing laziness. So like, I thought it was all right. I was pleasantly surprised. I'm sure people will tell me how wrong I am and point it out, and they'll be like, actually no, you're right. But just while watching it, it looked fine. So, and the little like inconsistent animation, they could touch that up in the Blu-ray release. That's fine. I can handle that. But anyway, let's get on with the episode itself and see what actually went down, because there was a lot of fighting and a lot of that. We begin with I think it was a pretty cool scene. The squad all gathering together. Bell's back from his training. That was just them all sitting on different rocks and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. You know, I don't remember the light novel that well. That's probably the good thing, is I have read it, but I can't remember the specifics, so that helps. But then they're off to the war game. They're not travelling together for a very obvious reason. We find out later on, but for some reason, let's just go with. He's just with some randoms, I guess. But then Seer, remember Seer? She's the waitress. She gives him an old necklace. Says it was important to some adventurer. I don't know if I'm missing the boat on that. It was green, so my thinking is Ryu. But maybe I'm wrong. There was something inside the necklace as well, which I didn't really see because I'm blind. But that's, you know, whatever. So he's got the necklace. We've got Apollo Familia preparing. Cassandra, remember her? She has visions of the future in that. She's like, we're gonna lose, guys. We're gonna lose. And Daphne's like, oh, shut up, Cassandra. We're not gonna lose. Look how many of us there are. And then she's like, Trojan horse, we've lost. And I'm like, oh. I mean, to be fair, I wasn't like, oh, because I remembered what happened for this part, because the fight's pretty cool. The gods all are then gathered around to watch, and there's bets going on. Remember that guy Maud, who like picked on Belle like last season? I remember him vaguely. He bets on Hestia Familia when everyone else is betting on Apollo. He's like, nah, Belle's got this, man. Also, Loki Familia all sitting around watching. I do find it really funny, and it's constant throughout the first and the second season so far. Is they'll show Leifia like in the background, but she just won't speak in the original. But then in Sword Oratoria, she just like doesn't shut up. I just find it really funny that she just doesn't speak in regular DanMachi. Maybe that's just me that finds that funny, but I find it funny. But anyway, let the games begin. So the game begins, as I just said. I said it twice, so it's going to be great. Ryu attacks immediately. She's got magic swords. Remember the magic swords? I do. There's a fire one and an electric one, and that's it. She only had 2. She's got 2 hands. That's how you remember. Half of Apollo Familia then gets sent outside to fight her by that short dude. I don't remember. He was the first one to pick a fight with Belle, that short dickhead. So she's fighting them. The swords end up breaking, but she's still fighting. Makoto sneaks in the hole in the wall. And there's a big old fight. Makoto uses that gravity magic to like keep some guys contained. The short Apollo Familia guy then opens the gate for Belle and Wealth. I'm going over all the fighting because I mentioned a lot of it at the beginning, but that's fine. Belle and Wealth get in. The Apollo guy was actually Lily in disguise the whole time. Remember, she can do that? Because I didn't. I forgot she could do that when I read it originally. I was like, oh yeah. But then the real little Apollo guy, he's being watched by Miak. I can't say his name. Miach. That's how we'll say it. I know that's wrong. You don't need to comment that's wrong, but it's for comedy. Keeping the fight alive. Belle runs past Daphne while Wealth stays behind to fight. He's like, yeah, I'll fight you. Cassandra's talking to that guy whose name I can't pronounce, the strong one, basically. He's like, hey, we need to run, otherwise we're going to lose. And he just like smacks her one. I'm like, oh, it's not cool. can't be doing that. But yeah, then while that's going on, the gang's going on, the music kicks in. I think the track might be called like Argonaut, but it was good. We get like a montage of everyone fighting. The Argonaut kicks in on his arm, does a firebolt through the roof. Not through the roof, through the floor, sorry, and just takes everyone out. Bell's then fighting the guy whose name I can't pronounce. That guy. It's nothing like that, but it's close enough. So he's doing pretty well. Cassandra grabs him then, and the guy starts charging up a move. Lily knocks Cassandra away, but Bell still gets hit, and he's down. He's like, oh, I'm bleeding out, I'm dying. Oh no, they're gonna lose. Oh no. But wait, it was an elaborate ruse. So the pronunciation is getting worse every time. Tries to kill him, like not even like beat him, just stab him, just die, Bell. But he's like, no, he uses Iz's technique. Remember from last week they were training. And she was like, when you're about to lose, that's when you can do the best counterattack or whatever. And that's what he does. He does a proper JC Staff punch. I don't know why that's a thing. A lot of JC Staff people punch, right? You got... We don't talk about that one. No, never mind. But yeah, they get the win. They get the KO win. Hestia Familia's won. They had 3 days to win, and they won in like in 20 minutes, 10 minutes. How long was this episode? They were fighting for like 15 minutes. That's how quick it took them to win. So good job, guys. Then back to the gods and that. Apollo's trying to backtrack. He's like, I was just joking. I wasn't actually going to do anything. And Hestia's like, I want your house, I want your children, and I want you gone. Basically is what she said. Like, not exactly, but basically. So yeah, he's out of the city now. Poor Apollo. Where? They own the mansion. You know, if only the opening hadn't spoiled, they were going to own the mansion. I have deliberately avoided mentioning the opening at all for that exact reason, because if you watch it, you're like, oh, they've got a mansion now. Oh, there's other people there at the mansion with them. They must join the Familia. Yeah, I deliberately didn't mention any of that until this arc was done, because spoils, you know. I wonder how many anime openings are proper spoilerish. Like, I wonder what the most spoilerific anime opening is. I'd love to know that, actually. That's actually something worth, like, researching, I think. But anyway, they got a new mansion. They got a new emblem as well. Hestia does some sick art. There's a bell and a fire. So the moral is she wants to set Bell on fire. So that's how we end the episode. The gang has got a new house. It's basically, this arc was just the gang gets a house. The gang becomes a gang. Is also, I keep saying gang a lot. They're not a gang. They're a club, a family. Familia is family. See, makes sense. But anyway, yeah. Enough about that. That was where the episode ended. So next episode, I mean, I'm really curious to see if the rest of the season is just going to be the one book or the one arc, whatever you want to call it. Because you know how many? Because it's also, that wouldn't be balanced. It'll be 4 and 8 or 4 and 9. I'm just curious. I remember liking the next arc as well. Like, these two are like the stuff I was excited for, which is good because that's what season 2 is going to be. Yeah. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this review. Thank you for watching and everything. I'll see you next week. Subscribe and stuff. There's loads of reviews. I say it every week now. I'm getting bored of saying it. Thank you for watching. I will see you next week. And bye, guys.